the young girl seen here is actually the mob boss's girlfriend. Remember how I said he's 34? Well, she's 20 years younger than that. Just, yeah.
Wait. The most horrifying Halloween deaths ever by a talking hat. My camera gets unfocused. We finally back. Like, comment, subscribe if you do enjoy the video. Let's get right into it.
The Hershey's incident. On a Halloween night in 2011, a small home on Winchester Avenue in Chicago quickly became the scene of a nightmare. After trick-or-treating, a grown 55-year-old man...
Well, first of all, Chicago is already a dangerous place. Like King Von said, every day is Halloween in that one song. I can't play it, but I will put the song up on the screen. Like he said, though, every day is Halloween. So you know Halloween gonna be dangerous. It'll probably be a shooting. I'm just gonna say a shooting in GTA. It'll probably be a shooting in GTA. I'm just gonna say that.
And fell into a fury with his partner after discovering that his bag of Hershey's candy was missing. He was convinced that the 49-year-old...
You crashed out over Hershey's? Out of all the socks. I need y'all to really understand this. Out of all the chocolates, he crashed out over Hershey's. Not Reese's, not Snickers. I know my forehead a little big right now. Haven't got a haircut or a twist. None of that. Hershey's. And not the cookies and cream one. The regular Hershey's. You disgust me, bro. You should have been in jail a long time before this even occurred.
Woman had taken it, and what started as a petty accusation quickly escalated into a heated argument. The shouting grew louder and tempers boiled over. In desperation, and perhaps in an effort to also protect herself, the 49-year-old woman hurled a plate at the man's head, striking him in the face and cutting above his eye. The injury, later visible in the mugshot taken of him, only stoked his anger further. With blood dripping down his face, the man reached for a kitchen knife, and consumed by rage, he lashed out in a frenzy, striking the
Wait, how did he get inside of your house? So you telling me this is how it went? I'm just realizing he's inside her house. He gets some candy. He still walks down the street, realizes a bag of Hershey's he had is gone. He goes back to the house, knocks on the door, accuses you. Y'all get in an argument. Y'all start fighting. You go a plate at him. Somehow he finds his way inside your house to the kitchen, mind you. Finds a knife and attacks you. You suck. First of all, I get you a woman, but how did you let him in your house, into the kitchen, and attack you with your own knife? You suck. I don't care. You suck.
Neighbors later recalled hearing chaos and screams echoing from inside the home.
6 minutes,
unsure
42
as to whether
seconds.
or not the noises were Halloween decorations, police were eventually dispatched to the area. When officers arrived, they found the woman gravely injured. She was rushed to Cook County Hospital, where she lingered in critical condition for nearly a week. Despite doctors' efforts, her injury...
He put you in a hospital for... Wait.
...proved fatal, and she later...
Never mind. I take back everything I said. I'm desperately sorry.
...passed on November 5th.
Sincerely sorry.
The man was arrested soon after and booked on felony
charges. As he
charges.
should be.
What had begun as a trivial Halloween quarrel between two adults ended in one of the most brutal of ways. Costume malfunction. On October 31st, at a thriving Halloween carnival, a 51-year-old man would step into the bustling streets dressed in a costume of burlap and straw, eager to join the thousands celebrating beneath pulsing lights and music. But in a sudden,
I forgot what he said. I'm not
turn,
paying attention.
The man's night of festivity shifted into pure trauma. The man joined the crowd in an energetic dance, and in the midst of the excitement, he wanted to take a break and light a cigarette. In his attempt, the flame from his lighter caught the edge of his costume's hood, and in an instant, his entire outfit...
Wait, you telling me you went outside to light a cigarette with your costume still on? So are these deaths my fault? I don't know if I can say deaths. I said it in the title. It's probably good. All getting gonna be because of stupidity. The first one, I get it. He was probably stronger than you. He outpowered you. Ooh, look at my arm. He overpowered you. That's the only reason I'm recording about that shit on. He overpowered you. I get it. I get it. I get it. Yeah. This second one, it is plain idiocy.
Idiocy.
Instant, his entire outfit ignited. Due to its material, the costume was extremely easy to burn, but difficult to put out and take off. The man would try ripping the costume off of his body, but its contents had already begun melting into his skin. As for the crowd around him, they at first thought it was a prank or some sort of fire.
Imagine seeing that in real. Oh my god!
That most of them were heavily intoxicated, so their rationality and judgment skills were extremely impaired.
Never mind, it was
As the blaze it swallowed him whole like a torch. His figure staggered into a mass of dancers engulfed in fire, with his arms flailing in a desperate panic. People continued cheering. Individuals were so impressed by the stunt that they had begun to record the screaming victim. Only when the man's screams got louder than the music at the carnival did sober witnesses realize what was going on. They rushed in to help and tried to rip off the burning pants and jacket that were now clinging to his skin.
It's
People
too late,
from their backpacks and emptied it onto
that's
the
the only thing.
while others in the crowd continued chanting, snapping pictures, and dancing to what they perceived.
Oh my god, bro!
When the flames finally calmed, he was barely recognizable.
How drunk was they, bro?
Despite being rushed to the hospital, the man ultimately passed away from his wounds.
Rest in peace, bro. Hello Kitty accident. Viewer beware. Well, he put it in the video, so beware.
In Hong Kong, would continue navigating her life in an environment tainted by hardship. She was an orphan as a child, and as she grew up, she became addicted to abusing substances and other things. She worked at a nightclub in one of Hong Kong's red light districts, Tsim Sha Tsui.
Ooh, I gotta go there when I become of age. If you know what I'm saying.
Frequently visited her for services. The gangster was known to be extremely dangerous, as he had a horrible temper and would often do cruel and unusual things to people who wronged him. One day, after the two met with each other, the mobster would accidentally forget his wallet.
Hey, hold on. We not gonna sit here and pretend like JJK spoilers. That's not even what I'm. That's not even what I'm looking at. We not gonna sit here and pretend like pineapple on pizza is nasty. Pineapple on pizza is the best thing I have ever tasted on a pizza, and I stand on that. If you got something to say, say in the comments. Say in the comments. No, what happened? Don't be scared. Just say in the comments.
Day, after the two met with each other, the mobster would accidentally forget his wallet at the venue. Upon seeing that it contained 4,000 Hong Kong dollars, the woman would secretly steal it. To situation
500? Oh my god! Oh my god! You! Oh my god! How is this a part of Halloween? I get it happened, knew it, but this is not.
The mob boss found out, and out of fear of what he'd do to her, she immediately returned the money back to him. However,
you gotta give him extra. You gotta give him extra.
That she pay an additional $10,000 back to him as an entry fee for her thievery. Obviously, she couldn't meet those requests. On a calm night, as the woman made her way into her apartment after her shift, she'd hear knocks at her door.
Don't open that twin.
Of the Triad gang, and
you gotta call the police.
They wanted to settle the dispute with a more reasonable fee. Also, side note, the young girl seen here is actually the mob boss's girlfriend. Remember how I said he's 34? Well, she's 20 years younger than that. Just, yeah.
Wait. So he's a PDF file in the mob boss. Got it. I want no problems. By the way, I want no problems. You got it, twin. But she around my age.
Anyways, as soon as the woman opened up the door, they ripped her out of her apartment and drove her to a rundown flat on Granville Road in Kowloon.
Rest in peace, bro.
It was there that her final horrific month of torture began.
Month?
Beat her with pipes, suspended her in the air with wires, burned her with wax and plastic, and rubbed peppery spices into her wounds. Each day blurred into the next. It was a cycle of torment designed not only to punish her, but to strip away at her humanity. Neighbors heard nothing beyond the walls, but within them, suffering was routine. After nearly a month of agony, her
I
body
wouldn't
could
even
no
need
longer
it,
endure the
Tony.
mistreatment, and she would pass away from the monstrous acts of the gang.
How did they
Upon realization,
find out?
the mob boss had his men disposing of her remains in bags and pieces to
What-
clear themselves of any evidence.
What that mean?
Disposing of her remains in bags.
Nah, that
Upon
was him.
realization, the mob boss had his men disposing of her remains
Nah, that's him. That's him.
in
That's
bags
him.
and pieces to clear themselves of any evidence. However, in a grotesque and cruel twist, pieces
What'd it say?
to clear themselves of any evidence and
He changed the word to disposing of her remains. But yes, guess say got member at the end.
disposing of her remains in bags and pieces to clear themselves of any evidence. Grotesque and cruel twist, the boss would have her skull boiled clean, polished
Whoa,
and preserved,
what?
and then stitched into his girlfriend's Hello Kitty plush. Actually, I don't really feel comfortable considering her his girlfriend. I mean, the man's quite literally old enough to be her father. But nonetheless,
Literally.
night after night, the young girl would be faced with the doll as she lived with the mob boss, and he kept it in the flat they were living in. She wouldn't be able to escape the sight of the toy, and as time went on, it began haunting her. She'd start seeing hallucinations and apparitions of the woman's ghost. The spirit would follow her every day, weeping dreadfully. It'd stand by the corner of her bed, staring at her every night, and if the girl ever fell asleep, it'd show up in her dreams as well, and turn them into nightmares. In her words, she said that it kept haunting her while demanding justice. It got so bad that the girl developed insomnia, and for weeks, she'd barely eat or sleep. Eventually, she broke. She ran to a nearby department, and reports from the Kowloon police station say that she turned up at the building shaking violently. As mentioned from witnesses, rather than her saying that she has a crime she needs to confess, the first words that left her mouth were something around the lines of, "I keep seeing her. I can't sleep. Please, she won't stop crying. She won't leave me alone." She was literally traumatized. The girl
Yeah.
told police absolutely everything they needed to know, and officials set out to arrest everyone who was involved. The three men. Actually, they don't really deserve to be called that. The three criminals were all sentenced to life in prison with a 20-year minimum.
What happened to
for
the
parole.
mob boss?
The young girl
Oh.
was placed
That's
to
him?
life in prison with a 20-year minimum.
This one is the mob. That Chad? That is not who. That do not look like a duddy, yo. That. They could have got a better picture of him. Oh my god, man. This Chad is the mob boss. Okay. They could have got a better picture of him. Kind of look like me right now. Interesting.
For parole. The young girl was placed in protective custody, and after the trial, it was noted that she was seeing the ghost less. However, she'd still go on to experience nightmares and auditory hallucinations of the woman weeping. The last thing that was heard of her before she was relocated with an identity change was that she was being given psychological treatment and correctional therapy. These aren't just horror stories, they're real events, and they're all so wrong in so many ways. Halloween is meant to be scary in a fun manner, not in a cruel and dangerous one.
Yeah.
To ensure that
So I'm assuming that crime took place over October and happened to be a part of Halloween.
happens, make sure to group up, stay close to your friends,
Calling this the Hello Kitty incident is outrageous.
drink responsibly, and always check your candy twice. Take care of yourself and keep your loved ones safe. Without further
Make
ado,
sure.
have a happy Halloween.
You too, Tony. And you too, even though this comes out on the 15th, probably around 8. Y'all probably watching on the 16th, though, depending on what time it is. Alright, the time 6:45 on October 15th. We'll see what time it comes out. All that being said, though, like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you all tomorrow. I'm starting back uploading daily. I'm out. Let me find the button. Here it is.